What do Lou Elizondo and Hal Puthoff have to say about UFO disclosure? Has once secret UFO files finally been digitized? What does Tim Burchett say about the prospects of the Select Committee? There's an update on missing flight MH-370 and more. It's time for another UFO News Roundup, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like, please subscribe, share on social media, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Oh, and if you wanted to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, please consider becoming a channel member. See the first link in the description below. Okay, let's just get right to it. Okay, let's hear what Tim Burchett has to say about the prospects for the Select Committee devoted to studying U.A.P.
At Gypsy Brain 42 on Twitter asks, "Thank you for continuing the fight, the good fight on the UFO issue!" Exclamation point. Could you give us an update on where everything stands with the Select Committee? Well, the Select Committee was addressed in a letter that Matt Gaetz penned, and myself and Representative Luna and Jared Moskowitz, I believe, out of Florida. All three of them are out of Florida, of course, where we've asked for a Select Committee. And what the Select Committee would have subpoena power, and it would provide the folks, the whistleblowers, some protection. And again, it keeps us out of the skiff, because anything we say in the skiff is secret, and therefore it won't be released to the public. And everybody said, get in the skiff with them, get in the skiff with them. I don't need to get in the skiff with them. I already, I've seen and heard enough. But I would like for us to have this Select Committee. And it's, again, Speaker McCarthy has to be the one to okay it. And he would pass it on to Chairman Comer, and then the committee would be formed that way.
Yeah, so that's all he was able to say about the prospects for a Select Committee. I am super excited about the Select Committee if it gets formed. I'm actually much more excited about the Select Committee than I am about the Schumer-Rounds amendment. The Schumer-Rounds amendment is going to hide stuff behind a gatekeeping committee and, filter stuff out to us as it wills. However, the Select Committee would be in the public purview, and it would be, run by people like Tim Burchett who actually give a crap about this issue and about transparency. So I really hope the Select Committee gets formed. Tim Burchett isn't super optimistic, judging by his demeanor. It's all down to Kevin McCarthy, who may or may not be influenced by Mike Turner and the powers that be in general. Whether that's the Collins elite or the control group or whoever, somebody is standing in the way of UFO disclosure. Somebody, maybe multiple parties, the Collins elite and the UFO control group. Who knows who else? Who does Mike Turner represent? I would think that would be the control group. He's kind of in the pocket of a bunch of, big contractors and aerospace companies. And, they seem aligned with the control group and are part of the control group. So I think that's who is, telling Mike Turner what to do. Unless he's doing this all on his own because of some religious reasons or some other reasons. Either way, it's not good. So I hope that Kevin McCarthy is able to stand up to the powers that be. I'm not optimistic about that. I think Kevin McCarthy is a swamp dweller, just like, most of those guys. I think Chuck Schumer, all those guys are pretty much swamp dwellers, both sides of the aisle. And, they are probably going to, bow to the powers that exist. Is the pro-disclosure faction more powerful? I'm not seeing that, but I do think there is a lot of momentum behind the pro-disclosure faction, and there are a lot of leaks that are going to spring if they don't allow this to go forward. So, Godspeed Tim Burchett and all those other guys. I hope you're able to get the Select Committee formed. James Iandoli describes asking Lou Elizondo and Hal Puthoff what to expect at the end of this UFO marathon.
People like Hal or Lou and saying, how far, where are you going to stop, right? Because, it's okay. Like for
what
us,
do you mean, where are you going to stop? I'm curious.
Okay, where is this conversation going to stop, right? Are we going to stop at crash retrievals? Are we going to stop at bodies? Like how far are you?
Yeah.
So
right.
Both of them each, and other people I've asked, it was funny. They had a unison response. Word for word is, we're going to go all the way.
We're going to go all the way. A unison response. We're going to go all the way. Apparently, this is how Hal Puthoff and Lou Elizondo responded. What does that mean? I don't know. Is there some sort of plan? Is there a plan for UFO disclosure? I think that there probably is. However, James touches on something in a minute that I've talked about before when I suggested a possible plan for UFO disclosure. I talked about this about a year ago, is that, first they would reveal the ships, right? The craft. They wouldn't reveal the bodies at first. They would reveal the ships and the existence of a UFO crash retrieval program. Something that people can wrap their minds around, but that wouldn't produce as much trauma potentially as actual bodies. But David Grush talked about bodies, and James Iandoli noticed this too. So let's hear what James has to say.
But I was having a conversation even a year ago, right? Maybe even it was more than a year ago now, about everything we're seeing happen today. I'm not going to say it was necessarily them or whoever else it was, but people that have been working this behind the scenes and they're saying basically, yeah, we're going to bring the crash retrieval thing out. And at that time, I was like, are we going to be talking about bodies and not the actual entities and non-human intelligence? And even a year ago, they were saying, we don't quite know yet. The priority is the technology because it's undeniable, right? And it's like the entry level, and we're going to kind of see how the public takes it and where we can actually go, starting with that. And that was made a little over a year ago. So now, what we're seeing with Grush, and that he clearly crossed that line, right? I'm not saying what we're going to get traction on, but he clearly is going balls to the wall, right? If I can say that.
That's about right.
Yeah, basically. I mean, he's going all at it, right? He's not holding any.
He's saying there's bodies. He's saying there's a serious conspiracy. He's saying there's massive government illegality and, in fact, deeply criminal activity in terms of harming individuals to keep this secret.
Boom, there you go. So did David Grush go off script talking about bodies? Was there a plan for UFO disclosure and he just said, screw it, I'm just going to tell it like it is? I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. Okay, now here's a cool story. Check this out.
A new effort by the National Archives is pulling back the curtain on UFO records once hidden by the government. As News Nation's Evan Lambert shows us, you can now access many of these newly digitized documents with a simple click of a button.
The National Archives has digitized tens of thousands of pages related to UFOs. They start in stacks like this, then it's off to the lab, where employees prep the materials, get them ready for the camera, and then onto your computer screen.
What we'll do is we'll place the object on the table and basically take an image of it.
Well, we don't need to see them scanning stuff, but yeah, you get the point. National Archives is digitizing once secret UFO files. So put that on your calendar. Now, a lot of this stuff is BS, I'll grant you, because it gives all the Project Blue Book stuff that, Roswell was weather balloons and all that kind of stuff. So take it all with a grain of salt, but hey, maybe it's progress. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just them throwing stuff at us to bury us in paperwork so we don't see the truth. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Meanwhile, here is a new clip from the Defense Secretary, Lloyd Austin, about Balloon Gate. I thought I had seen everything about Balloon Gate, but I missed this very critical clip because the Defense Secretary himself says the three objects shot down after that first object, what was unambiguously a Chinese spy balloon, they weren't the same thing. So let's listen.
I want to be clear, the three objects taken down this weekend are very different from what we were talking about last week. We knew exactly what that was, a PRC surveillance balloon. And as we have said, we do not assess that the recent objects pose any direct threat to the people on the ground, and we will continue to focus on confirming their nature and purpose.
Yeah, so the Defense Secretary says those other three objects are different. Now, this is an older clip, obviously, but I include it because this is the first time I'm seeing it, and maybe it's the first time some of you are seeing it as well. But it definitely seems to suggest that something is hinky with that whole thing. They haven't released any photos or videos from those three objects. There was some disinformation or some various conflicting information coming out around those objects, I should say. And it was also during the balloon gate that the White House created their own interoffice UFO agency devoted to studying this topic. And that agency has since gone on, apparently, to be somewhat important, at least, behind the scenes in the whole Schumer-Rounds UFO amendment. So Balloongate changed some things. So I don't know if, Balloongate was really UFO gate or not, but there's some questions there. There's a mystery there that remains to be solved. Let me know what you think it is. Meanwhile, there has been a new development in MH-370, missing flight MH-370. This person, Punjabi Batman, has, I know, right, has stripped the thermal filter from MQ-1C MH-370 video, which allows the motion of the orbs to stand out. You can actually see the orbs being pulled forward in this video. In the thermal filter, we lose a lot of detail in the oversaturated blues. Here we can clearly see the amazing amount of detail visible in the clouds that is otherwise completely lost. This leads me to believe that the thermal was a filter applied over the top. This adds a completely new layer to the video. Notice how you can clearly see the orbs diving into these dark pathways ahead of them. Okay, all right, let's check it out. What are we looking here? Is that the plane? Yeah, okay, this is supposedly, I think, taken from a drone of the plane. And that structure we were seeing as a wing of the drone. And here we go. Why was there a drone taping this? I don't know. And there we go. About to make the wormhole or the portal. Maybe, if that's what it was doing. They're all speeding up, preparing to make the gateway. I don't know. Does that clarify anything for you? Does this, removing the filter actually help make it any more understandable? I don't know, guys. A lot of people think this is a fake, a hoax. It very well might be. I'm certainly not thinking that it's a genuine UFO, a case of UFOs making this plane disappear. However, I've seen enough to make me think that there's definitely room for doubt on this. And that the fate of MH-370 may still be in question. But, my mind always goes back to the debris that was found. Some people say, well, maybe it wasn't actually from that flight. I've demonstrated that it looks like it was, or at least, that is what is suggested by the evidence of those who have looked at the debris. However, could that be faked if this was a plane made, vanished by UFOs? Could somebody have faked some debris? Sure, I guess. But again, I don't want to be disrespectful to the families of the missing or the perished by suggesting that it was most certainly a alien or non-human encounter or disappearance. I really don't know what's going on here, but I thought I would share this new information with you. If you can make more sense of it than I can, let me know. Part of me would definitely like to think these guys are out there having adventures in some other world, and that it turned out to be a good thing and an exciting odyssey for these surviving people. But that is probably just a fantasy. but let me know what you guys think. And if you've enjoyed this UFO News Roundup, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. I would love to see you guys there. If you could drop this video, share this video on social media, that would be super helpful. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, please consider becoming a channel member. See the first link in the description below. Channel members are rock stars. I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos to check out on the channel, and I will see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.